36SX machine.
Hello and welcome to this edition of PC Voyage. I'm Andrew Doty.
And I'm Rainey Laviolette. On this week's show, we have Bob Clemens with PC Voyage News, Tim Hamlet with questions and answers, and Jim Dilks with bits and PCs.
Also on hand today is Sabrina Jargel. Hi, Sabrina.
Hello, Andy. Hi, Rainey.
Sabrina, we understand you use computers in school. What types of computers do you use in school?
Apple IIes.
Okay, and what types of software do they run on those computers?
We use print kits like Print Shop, and we use learning programs.
What is Print Shop?
It's a print kit that you can make banners, signs, cards, whatever you want.
Let me backtrack for a second. What grade are you in?
I'm going into 9th grade in Cathedral, freshman.
And what school are you in now?
I just got out of Our Lady of Sacred Heart.
All right, do you use a computer at home?
Yeah, I use it at home sometimes.
For what types of things do you use it at home?
For games, or once in a while I have to do my homework on it.
Do you have an Apple at home or an IBM compatible?
IBM compatible.
And what kind of software do you run?
Well, games, print kits, and Microsoft Windows.
All right, I understand that you have a couple of demonstrations. You put together a videotape, and I'd like to see it at this time.
Okay.
Hi, this is Where in Time in Carmen, San Diego. This game, you can blast through time and look for criminals. This also teaches you about the different time eras. Now we are going to see if I am needed, and then if I am, go into the chrono skimmer, which blasts you through time. It's the newest time machine lately. And right now we are going to India because we have been given clues that maybe the criminal we are looking for is there. And while we're here, we learn some information about that time and from the country. And we go to a witness to see what's going on. And we seem to have an enemy tracking us down. Now we are in another India, and right now we are filling out the clues we have gotten to get a warrant for an arrest. And we are facing some traps right now, and we might find the criminal. Just have to wait a little while. And I think we have found him. Yes, that is him. And now the robot has been launched and shall get the criminal. But the criminal is running away. And the robot is chasing him. We shall see who will win this race. The criminal stops in his tracks. And the robot sneaks up from above, zaps him with light, and we are going to be congratulated by the chief in a few seconds, which is going to be real good for me because I'll get a promotion. He's happy for me, can't you tell? And now, this is Dinosaurs Are Forever, the paint game, which allows you to paint your favorite dinosaurs, and you can make banners, posters, and even calendars out of your favorite dinosaurs. There are several favorite dinosaurs like Triceratops, Allosaurus, and in a few seconds we shall see some clips from them. Let's just finish up Tyrannosaurus first. You can't leave the king of the dinosaurs unfinished, can we? So many choices, so little time. Now they get color in the landscape. This program is for ages 3 and up. And now Microsoft Windows Solitaire, a game which many people play at their desks at work when the boss isn't looking. This game allows you to change the cover of the cards, and when I played this, it wasn't really a winner, so you won't see any spectacular effects like we planned to. But so far, things seem to be going good right now. Hopefully, maybe I was wrong. I could be right that we're going to lose. Unlike some other programs, there is no key factor that you can use in here, except the closest thing you can do for keys, like what I've been doing, using one card at a time, which is illegal, but I do it anyway. Not that I like doing things illegal, but it's easier. And now Micro League Baseball 2. This game, you can pick teams from different years. And right now it shall be the 1975 Red Sox against the 1978 Yankees. A creative game, you might say. You can get different fields. And right now it looks like the Yankees are creaming the pants off of the Red Sox, which will make Yankees fans happy. This is one way you can go to a game and not have to pay some money. And now it's Typing Tutor 4, which helps people who have trouble typing. I'm one of those people, but I'm one who has a little trouble learning this thing. With this, you can practice your typing, and it tells you the speed you can type at and your accuracy. There is also a game. It's kind of a version of Space Invaders, only this you might call Word and Letter Invaders, because it drops onto words and letters drop onto your city, trying to destroy them. And right now, the player here, who is not me, is doing a very good job. But that R might get through, but no, it did not. We got a few letters who are trying to get through, and we seem to be doing good here. But I think one's going to get through. Uh-oh. Now, Arkanoid, The Revenge of Doe. A good game. This game helps you with eye-hand coordination in a way. You have to be quick. Each capsule works different on the little space bar, what you might call it. The T capsule turns this little bar into twin bars attached to each other, so you got better range of stopping the ball. And that's it for now.
Sabrina, Where on Time is Carmen Sandiego? That seems to be a pretty popular series. What are some of the other series that...
They have Where in Europe, Where in USA, Where in America's Past, and they have two versions of Where in the World. One is like an upgraded one.
Okay. And I noticed you did a brief demonstration on Typing Tutor 4. Have you used Typing Tutor 4? Have you tried it?
Yeah, I've tried it once in a while.
And does it seem like it's helping you out a little bit? Are you beginning to become a little proficient with the keyboard?
No.
No. Oh.
Do you have a cheat playing solitaire?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And what level have you gotten to? I know we're not talking about educational software here, but what level have you gotten to on Arkanoid?
I don't know, because the boards are like different. Sometimes you'll end up on one board when you finish the first one, and the next game you could end up on another one. It depends how fast you go. The highest I've gotten to is like, I think, 3 or 4.
What's a score?
Like close to 300,000, something like that.
You should try Windows Minefield.
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper.
My dad plays that.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good at that. I've got it down to 12 seconds on the basic level, so we're getting there.
What a plug. Dinosaurs are forever. I still don't get that. I mean, it seems like a fairly new company that's putting out this product. What do you know?
Well, what it is it's like a print kit in a way, but there's a picture and you can color it in. So it's kind of like PC Paintbrush or some of those others.
Do you think it's important for kids to use computers both at home and at school?
Yeah, I think it is, because one of these days everything's going to be run by computers.
So that gives them a good jump. You figure it gives a good jump on tomorrow's society.
Things are now already.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'd like to take this time to thank Sabrina for doing an excellent job on the tape, and we'd like to hopefully see some more from you, all right?
Okay.
Pay us a visit.
Sure.
Coming up next is Tim Hamlet with questions and answers.
Here are this week's computer trivia questions. Number 1. What do NEC and DEC stand for? And number 2. Who makes the onboard flight computers for the space shuttle?
Hello and welcome back.
What are you looking at me for?
You had something you were going to ask.
Oh, hey, how you doing, Tim?
Fine, how are you guys?
Good. What was I going to ask him now? I forgot.
Mailbox.
Oh, yeah, mailbox. How's the mailbox?
The mailbox is doing just fine. It's been a little empty lately, but we're expecting good things.
During the break, you said it was full.
No, I didn't.
Well, on that note, I think Tim Hamlet with questions and answers.
Okay. Hi, all of you out there. Hey, I was recently at a computer fair when a gentleman approached me and asked me if there was any way to prevent the noise from his computer from affecting his ham radio set every time the computer was running. First of all, the noise he was experiencing is called RFI, or radio frequency interference, and it is produced by most electrical equipment when it's running. You've probably seen its effects on the television set. It becomes all scrambled when you're running the vacuum cleaner or the blender. And the noise produced by your computer can be particularly bad because of the frequency that the clock chips are running at. Home computers running from 4.77 megahertz to 100 megahertz fall right into the radio frequency band of 10 kilohertz to 3,000 gigahertz. It's quite a band. To prevent this noise, your machine must be properly shielded. And in most situations, the metal case of your computer provides the necessary shielding to prevent the RFI from affecting other equipment. Be sure to check the manual on your machine to see if it meets FCC standards. Type A standards are suitable for businesses, while the more stringent Type B standards are suitable for home use. If you still have a problem with noise, try this. Take the case off of your computer and line the entire inside of it with lead tape. That used to work with me to prevent interference on my guitar way back when I had delusions of being a rock and roll star. While we're on the subject of noise, let's find out how many of you have surge suppressors between the wall outlet and your PC. Let me see a show of hands. Well, I don't see enough of them out there. It's very important to have one of these devices installed on your system to prevent surges in the line voltage from destroying your computer. I mean literally destroying it. If you hooked up a device to monitor the voltage coming into your house, you'd be very surprised that the voltage varies quite a bit from the normal 120 volts you would expect to find. Surge suppressors or protectors condition the voltage and absorb any rises in the voltage that could damage your sensitive electronic equipment. And you shouldn't also include in this category not only your PCs, but your televisions, your stereos, and any other devices that contain microchips or any sensitive electronic equipment. It can really wreak havoc with it. But in addition to the line voltage, you also have to be careful of what I mentioned before, RFI, radio frequency interference, EMI, electromagnetic interference, and surprisingly enough, the telephone line. If you have a modem hooked up to your machine, okay, be careful of this, because the phone line is more apt to give you spurious voltages than the power company is. And you can get surge protectors that will take care of all of these problems for around $20 at a computer fair. It is well worth the investment. So take that to heart and get one on your machine today. That's all I got for you tonight, guys.
You know, I really like to know, he must spend a lot of time in Webster's dictionary. I mean, do you ever notice these words he uses, like spurious and all these, it's amazing the vocabulary.
I want to know about the music bit. I mean, you must really be a frustrated musician.
Yes, I am. Very much so. Just like Andy.
Oh, brother.
Anyway. He's more frustrated than I am.
Remember now, if you do send a question in, and we happen to pull your name out of a basket of many hundreds of thousands, I hope.
Hundreds?
Well, hundreds of thousands. Well, maybe tens.
Hundreds of thousands.
You may have the opportunity to win all 4 of these packages. There is Prodigy, X3 Gold, Windows 3.1, and PC Tools version 7.1. And the list is growing, so keep sending them in. You never know. You may add 5 more things onto this, and hopefully you'll win it.
And coming up after Chip brings you our address so you know where to send your questions to Tim for. That didn't sound right. It will be Jim Dilks with Bits and PCs. We'll be right back. Shut up.
If you have any questions for Tim, or if you have any comments about the show, please write to us. Our address is PC Voyage, P.O. Box 6295, Holyoke, Massachusetts, 01041.
Welcome back. Boy, when we can finally get to the trivia questions here, there are some pretty tough ones. A lot of initials in this one. NEC, DEC, and the other trivia answer has another set of initials in it, just to give you a little hint.
You're giving it away, Rainey.
Oh, I'm not.
Intro, Jim, will you?
Hi, Jim.
Hi, how's it going,
All
Andy?
right, you ready here to bring us our bits and PCs for another week?
Definitely.
All right.
I'm going to discuss the FC exe file tonight. It's a compare. It does a file compare. And, okay. What we have here is called the FC command. We've got some switches in here we're going to discuss first off. The first switch is the A switch, and it goes ahead and it shortens the compression. In other words, it only selects the things that are going to be printed out to the screen for you, and it, instead of printing the first and last line, everything in between, it just prints the first and last start of the compare. Okay, you can also compare 2 binary files with this command. And like if you have an exe file, 2 exe files, you want to compare to see if they're exactly the same. The C command causes the matching process to ignore the case letters. In other words, it will just force uppercase or lowercase and just ignore the, if you have uppercase and lowercase mixed in, it'll just compare them all as the same. The L command compresses the file ASCII mode and compares the file in an ASCII mode format. The set the initial line buffer to a certain amount. You can set how many lines you want it to print out at a time on the screen. N displays the file number and ASCII in the ASCII compare. What this does is it forces a line number to the screen as you're comparing them. T does not extend the tabs. Okay. It will set your tabs so that there are usually restrictions to 8 tab characters. And your spaces, it restricts to 8. The W causes the white spaces, tabs, and spaces during the compression. What happens is that means that it takes all the spaces out and limits them to 1 space. The NNN/NNN specifies the number of lines that must match after the FC finds between files. Okay, it looks for how many lines you can tell it how many lines to count before it finds a match. Okay, next we're going to go on and we're going to do an actual file compare. Okay, the line here is we're going to go ahead and we're starting with the FC command. We're going to do an ASCII compare. It's going to be in lowercase. It's going to be non-case sensitive, meaning it's also going to be in the ASCII mode. We're going to compress the number of lines between, and okay, and then right on here, we're going to compare show 6 with bat to show 7 bat. Also, at the end of this, you'll find we have the more command, which means that it'll only print so many lines on the screen and then stop. Okay. It starts off and it says comparing files. A, the show 6 bat to show 7 bat. Okay. First off, it found that in line 1 to line 4 that there was a mismatch. So it shows us that there's a mismatch here. Line 1 to 8 in show 7, line 1 to 4 in show 1, so on down. It will keep on going like this, showing you the difference between the lines as it goes in the comparison. Okay, and what this is primarily handy for is if you've got two files and you want to compare them to see, like if you've updated something, file or something, you want to see where your updates have been added and so on and so forth. This will do the job for you. And that's all I have for this evening.
Well, thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
What's the difference, real quick, between the FC and the COMP command?
Well, the COMP command doesn't return anything to the screen. It just does a quick compare. If there is a mismatch between the files, it will call an error and and then you have to hit your return, and it'll keep go on. And if you keep hitting the errors, you will eventually have to break out of it. But this one here doesn't stop at an error. It just goes on and shows you the difference, where the differences are in the compare.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jim.
That was really interesting.
Yeah.
I always get too confused. Coming up next, after the answer to our trivia questions, remember all those initials, will be Bob Clements with PC Voyage News.
Here are this week's computer trivia answers. Number 1. NEC stands for Nippon Electric Company. DEC stands for Digital Equipment Corporation. And number 2. The Space Shuttle's flight computers are made by IBM.
Hello and welcome back. And now, our omniscient man of the 90s, Bob Clements. Bob?
Hi, Bob.
Hi guys. RosterOps and TrueVision say they have signed a definite agreement to merge. Santa Clara, California-based RosterOps is a leading producer of Macintosh graphic arts products. TrueVision of Indianapolis markets broadcast-quality video systems for IBM-type PCs. Under the deal, TrueVision would become a wholly owned RosterOps subsidiary. The stock swap deal is scheduled for completion in August. It's subject to shareholder approval. TrueVision President and CEO Kathleen Ashe is set to continue as the subsidiary's head. Apple Computer has unveiled a new division called Apple Pie. The organization, the Personal Interactive Electronics Group, will be responsible for the computer maker's upcoming line of personal digital assistants, PDAs. Apple says it expects to sell $3.5 trillion in handheld systems by the end of the decade. The easy-to-use PDAs will help users to organize information, study, and communicate. It's the birth of a mega industry, says John Scully, Apple's chairman and CEO. Mitsubishi will market computers made by Apple Computer to corporate customers in Japan. Mitsubishi, a major Japanese trading company, says it will aim for annual hardware sales of $232.6 million by the fiscal year ending March 1995. It also will offer consulting, software, and other support services. The agreement gives Mitsubishi the right to sell all Apple Computer products in Japan. Like many U.S. firms, Apple has had trouble cracking the tightly controlled Japanese corporate market. XperVision has created TypeReader, a new optical character recognition program for Macintosh computers that recognizes entire documents, not just characters, accurately and automatically. TypeReader works directly with most popular scanners, including models made by Apple Computer, Hewlett-Packard, IBM, and Sharp. It's also compatible with hand scanners and fax cards that generate TIFF and PIC files. The software supports most leading file formats. The $695 TypeReader is scheduled to ship in June. And that's it for today. See you next week. Portions of the above, courtesy of Prodigy Computer Services. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Boy, that was a great PC Voyage News tonight.
Definitely.
You know, to close out the show, we always try to come up with an idea for a tech tip, quick little tech tip that we can give you. Do you have any ideas?
I don't know. Why don't we ask our studio audience?
Guys?
Remember to back up your hard drive.
Yeah, I knew they'd come in useful for something.
All right.
Yeah, it is very important that you always remember to back up your hard drives on a regular basis. You never know when, for some reason, something could happen, whether it's a virus or your hard drive just stops, that you need to have that backup handy.
The data back. Absolutely. Very important.
You do it?
Absolutely.
All right.
And thank you for watching this edition of PC Voyage. I'm Andrew Doty.
And I'm Rainey Laviolette. See you next week. You guys did great.
And now, here is my brother, the Reverend Jimmy Purser. He will now lead us in the Nerd's Prayer. Greetings. Let us park our heads and pray. Our files, which are in sectors, valid, be high data, high downloads done, high scan be done, on disk as it is in RAM. Give us this day our daily backups, and forgive us our glitches, as we forgive those who glitch against us. Lead us not into late states, but deliver us a sound blaster board. For thine is the device driver, the processor, and the turbo, forevermore. Amen to file. But the country.sys